going to be talking briefly about a specific subject around contactless payments and how we're going to cater for that in this ever-changing world. So to kick off, really, the rise in importance of contactless is not something which is specific to COVID-19. Well, that's probably brought it to the forefront of many people's minds. It has and should have been a priority for many over the last few years. And in fact, in many societies, we are actually close to cashless, aside from the US, which I'll come back to. Just very briefly, I saw a meme on LinkedIn recently that asked, who is evolving your company's digital strategy? And the image was a CEO, a CTO, or even C19. So, we're not a first mover industry, but I think the virus is driving us finally to what we need to do, and that's catching up with some of the other industries out there. Some interesting stats I was looking at from 2019. Believe it or not, South Korea is 97% contactless when it comes to payments. Australia just behind that at 95%. Even parts of Africa are at 80%. The UK, we're at 70% and growing, and the US is trailing well behind at 3.5% only. And in summary, no one's really carrying cash anymore. In fact, if you're on the street in the UK now, you actually have buskers with their own POS terminals taking tips, and even beggars I've seen out there who are taking begging money through a POS terminal. So looking at the US, given that's the focus for the whole show, for me, there's a few things that need to happen. The card issuers, the US banks, even the mobile device providers need to get more contactless options into the hands of consumers, and even reduce transaction charges to the retailers, which is going to be crucial. We need a strong push from the payments industry as well, but also the consumer needs to want this, and probably they're not sure why they need it. So a strong marketing push there. But it's safer, it's more hygienic when you look at what's going on now. From a security perspective, you have fingerprint and facial recognition for mobile pay, and on tap and pay you have limits. And in fact, all the transactions are actually tokenized, so it's completely random. And of course, there is no physical contact either. I think one of the other key areas as well, though, is mobile data costs. I think the US have some of the highest mobile data costs out there. For me, in the UK, I pay £15-20 a month, and I get virtually unlimited data. But when we look at what's happening, Visa estimate there'll be 300 million contactless cards in the US by the end of 2022, and will make up around about 2/3 of all the transactions. And with the likes of Visa PayWave, Mastercard PayPass, Apple Pay, Android Pay, etc., there are many, many, many options out there. In fact, the UK grew dramatically about 5 or 6 years ago off of the back of the London Underground, the Tube network supporting contactless pay. And I know recently that the subway in New York and the whole metro system there are also going to be going contactless. So that's really, really going to help. When we look at other industries, though, we are behind, as I said, what's going on. But from the betting and gaming industry in retail and online, there is definitely a way forward for contactless. It actually also gives you a full KYC process, because obviously someone who has that device has to go through a process, so you know who they are, you know where the money's come from, rather than cash out of someone's wallet, which obviously may have some AML issues attached to it. And a final quick point for me on the African market. I've been working a lot in Africa, and for so-called third world countries, I was blown away by the fintech there and the necessity driven by people who have very few bank accounts. So they get paid in mobile credit. They then go to the grocery store and they use that to pay for the groceries. But the smart bookmakers now are putting bet codes on the bottom of receipts. And you even have guys out on the street, again, with POS terminals taking bets linked to that. And some of the more savvy operators are doing deals with the telcos to give away mobile data for free so the consumers can use it.